Welcome back to an all-new episode of the Rollin 20s podcast. I am Tavarus, and today we have a very, very special guest. One of my absolute favorite humans.
Oh.
Miss Perri Camper.
I feel the same. You're my favorite.
She is a hot actress on the rise who's currently starring in the hit BET series American Soul, where she plays Dolores Cornelius, who is also the wife of Don Cornelius. She's also made appearances on Netflix's Family Reunion and just executive produced and starred in her first short film, right?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How are
This is
you
wonderful.
feeling?
I'm feeling great. How are you in this good COVID area?
I'm just trying to maintain.
I know that's right.
I'm trying not to disrespect the refrigerator.
Whatever. You can have whatever you
Do a
want.
little cardio.
Yeah.
Have you been staying creative during quarantine?
You know what? Because of the times, I haven't stayed as creative as I thought I would. Just with all the protesting going on, it's just been emotionally draining and taxing. But it hasn't stopped. So I've done some creative things and working on some other things, trying to see what's next as far as a web series, webisodes, another short, or what. But and then doing some self tapes and things like that. So
how's it been quarantining with Bay? Because I saw a tweet the other day that said, the girl said, "Can we please bring back sports? Because this nigga asked me how my day was, and he wanna fuck again."
I think I saw that. No, what's great? Quarantine with Bay has been wonderful. To be completely honest, I always say, or we say to each other, we could not have done this without one another.
Yeah.
So we've learned so much. Yesterday he said, you know what, things that I probably would have learned about you in 2 years, I've learned in this 9 weeks of quarantine. And it's so true. But it's been fun. We've been communicating a lot, laughing a lot, just catching up on different things. So yeah, he's my best friend.
Okay. Any quarantine babies in the mix?
Listen, no. Let me tell you, I would not be the one coming out with the quarantine baby.
Michelle said, "Don't make me a mother without making me a wife."
Hello.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the
and
part.
If it's real, pay a light bill.
Okay. Look, we're working on both, so it's all good before the babies.
So anyway, as you know, this podcast is for and about the 20-somethings. So I want to first start with saying, give me one word to describe your 20s.
Ooh, undercover.
Undercover? Oh, good deal.
No. I think that's your other podcast. Let me go. No. In my 20s is when I was, It was, it was different. I don't know if it was the first half. The first half I was more free, in a little ratchet and undercover ratchetness, and then later in my 20s, I think I started saying, okay, this is what I want. This is what I started. It was more calm for me, more settled.
Just side note, as a Cancer, how do you wrangle your emotions?
Oh, I have to. So it comes with time.
Yeah.
Let me say that, and so I have to check myself and check myself hard. So sometimes I put myself on timeout. I go to the bedroom and I'm like, I'm not talking to anybody until I get this under control.
I feel like just now at 30 something, I'm kind of more grounded.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because at first I used to just be like, meow, you want to fight? You want, all of that. So but now it's more tamed for sure.
What do you miss most about your 20s? And would you redo them?
I would not redo the 20s actually. Because I feel like I learned what I needed to learn or whatnot. But I will say what I learned a lot was just about me. It was discovering who I was and who I wanted to become and what I would stand for and what I wouldn't stand for.
Right.
It was stuff that I would, I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that again. Or I will not accept this again. So, I'm taking care of this dude. Oh, absolutely not.
Yes.
You just learn it in your 20s of what you're worth and what you will do and what you won't do.
Absolutely.
And what you will accept and what you won't accept. And once you come into that, it's a game changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So people always ask, how do I get into acting? How do I get into the industry? And I always tell people there's no one way to do it. Because this is not something that you can go to school for and you have a guaranteed job.
Hello?
So this conversation, I want to be more about the journey of, the process of you getting into whatever you got into, all that kind of stuff. So take me back to a young Perri.
Listen, young Perri.
You a Dallas native.
Yeah, I am.
So when did you get bit by the entertainment bug?
Listen, when I was saying my Easter speech at church, and no lie, I know you're supposed to be doing it for Jesus. I get it. However, I love the audience instant gratification of how they gave me a standing ovation, how they had the lights flickering. The speech was called The Last One. And when they stood up, I was like, ooh, I like this. Ooh, I need this again in my life.
How old?
I think I may have been, it was before my teenage years. Okay. So I may have been 11. It was Sunshine Band. So I may have been like maybe 11.
And you was like, I want to be in entertainment or an actress specifically?
Actress. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to act. Yeah.
So then what does that look like in Dallas?
Like, you know what? So I would honestly say I didn't dream big enough because I didn't even know what to dream. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what it looked like either because I was, sheltered and I didn't do much. I didn't do a lot of extracurricular. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know. I thought it was only in those four walls of the church where I could do what I thought, I could just act. Yeah. And that's it. I thought it was just speeches, Easter speeches. I was looking forward to the next one the following year. But then later on, I started understanding, hey, there's a community and there's theater. Mm-hmm. And theater became my first love. And then when I went to high school for radio, television, film, I was in the one-act plays there and theater there. And I'm like, oh, wait, so this looks good, but I still never dreamed that it would be outside of Dallas.
Right. Oh, you know? Okay. Yeah.
So it was I still had like a short vision. I was short-sighted. Just did not think that it would ever happen for me, or I was, not even that it would happen, well, that too, but that it was just limitations of what I could do.
Was your family supportive of?
No, I'm not saying they felt like it was a hobby. Yeah. They was more like, oh, girl, you about to go to church and you're going to sell these cookies for the church. You're going to sell these M&Ms for the church. You're going to get these reports to the church. Yeah. Everything was surrounded, so hence why my 20s was undercover. Okay. But, everything was surrounded by, church. So I was like, oh.
Was that disheartening, like to for people not to understand your vision?
Not at that time, because I thought that's all it was. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And when you're kind of like taught that mentality, that's what you think it is until you start seeing something differently. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, whoa, wait, no, so other people are doing it. And you try to convince yourself of why you shouldn't or why you can't or why it can't be done for you. And you just have to get through all those mental roadblocks, for sure.
So take me back to your first televised gig.
My first televised gig. So I did short films and things like that. But so I don't want to discredit the short films at all because they made film festivals. And every time I saw myself, I counted a blessing and a great opportunity to be able to do what I love doing. But the first televised one that everyone knew about was American Soul. Oh, okay. Recently. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's the first one that people actually knew about. And that one was very, oh my gosh, it was a very surreal moment. Because you're putting yourself out there and you're putting yourself out there to be criticized. You're putting yourself out there to be, celebrated, but you're putting yourself out there for anything, to be critiqued. And shoot, we artists, so we sensitive about our stuff, for real. So it's just like, oh shoot, I couldn't even look at it the first time. And we had a live tweet event, and I just kept my head down the entire time. I just couldn't look at myself. So
so we'll get to that, but before getting to American Soul, did you ever go through the whole starving artist thing? Or did you always just have a 9-to-5?
Well, so there was a time where I went through, okay, you know what, let me not work and let me set up a nonprofit organization and see if that brings me joy. But shoot, it's only so much that in Dallas that I could do. And I like to eat too much to starve. So I was just like, no, wait a minute. Let me go on back and get this 9-to-5 and still try to figure out how to do both. Right.
I remember when I first moved here, the first TV thing I did was the TV show Numbers. Okay. And I was so hyped, and it was extra work, which I thought that was a big deal or whatever. So they called me and they was like, we want you to be this thug, this gangster, whatever. So they put all these tattoos on me. Stop. And they had me like leaning back in this Escalade or whatever. So all that to say, I had all my family tuning in. Okay. And all they showed was my elbow. And I know I've got them ratings. Oh my God. I'm mad about it.
Yo, the stuff that ends up on the cutting floor. Man. Good grief. Like, that's how you gonna play me? Okay. Yeah.
How did you manage to go from working as an executive to saying, like, I want auditions? Well, first take me back to how you ended up at BET. Because I know Perri through BET.
Okay, yeah. So, so it's a funny story, but I was in New York. I lived in New York before LA. I love New York. The energy is unmatched there. I love New York. But I had saved up money to move to New York. And then once that money ran out, because I went to Stella Adler Studios for acting. And once that ran out, I was like, oh, I got to get a job. Because I went to New York not knowing anybody or anything, you know. And I had decided to move to New York before I even visited New York. I just knew I wanted to be there.
Same here.
And so I basically was trying to figure out, where am I going to work or what am I going to do? And you have to understand, in New York, there's so many people and everybody have MBAs and so many people have bachelors. So I'm like, the competition is still steep, and sometimes it doesn't even matter. They're not choosing me. They're not saying, okay. So it was a mutual friend, a friend of mine had introduced me to a young lady, an executive at BET, and he was just saying, oh, she's really nice. She's so sweet. Go to her and talk to her about acting. And so I tried to set up appointments with her so many times, and it just kept, it was so busy, I guess, and the schedule kept moving. And I'm like, see, this is typical BET. I ain't got time to do them. Whatever. So, so then we finally connected. And she was supposed to actually just tell me about, acting. But she said, hey, that's not my area, but you should talk to Robbie Reed. But Robbie was in LA, and I didn't know who that was at the time. Well, I didn't know her like that at the time. Right. And then, so she said, well, you could be a PA or something. I have shows, I do specials, so you could just be a PA, I'll get you some money. I'm like, okay. So then as soon as that, she said, well, what did you used to do back in Dallas? And I said, well, I was a teacher, but I was also an assistant. And then she looked up and just said, oh, I need an assistant right now. And I said, okay, wait. So my informational turned into a job interview on site. Yes. And it was going to be a trial and error because she knew I wanted to act. Right. So she thought I wasn't serious about being an assistant. And so,
just trying to be here to be
right. And I'm like, I knew there was some resistance there. At the beginning, because everyone wants to get in there. Sometimes they want to do their own thing and then they leave. I understood that my season was to support her, and understanding in that season, if my season is to support her, the blessing will come. And so she put me on staff like really quickly. And
what year was this?
So it was 2015, and I learned a lot behind the camera. I learned a lot about productions, and that's what I took away. Like, I'm supposed to learn and understand both sides of the business, because we always hear about Bobby Brown and all them new additions signing those contracts. You better know what your contract says. So I became the assistant for sure. Okay,
I'm gonna get back to that. So let me tell you how I ended up at BET.
Okay.
So I moved here in 2005, right after Katrina, and then that was the year that Destiny's Child was on there doing the little lap dance and stuff. So I said to myself, I was like, I love BET. I watch 106 Park every day. Rap City, Cedars World, like BET was it. Yeah. So I said, damn, I'm moving to LA. I was like, next year I want to go to the BET Award. So as soon as I got here, I ended up seeing The Seat Filler with Kelly Rowland and Dwayne Martin. Little independent movie. Okay. So I was like, I'll be a seat filler.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a good movie too.
Yes.
So I Googled it, found out BET do the seat fillers for the BET Awards or whatever. But I ended up not being a seat filler. I ended up being a talent escort. Okay. So then I was doing that every year for the award shows and whatever like that. So then fast forward, I was doing security in like 2015. And
which is hilarious to me. Can I just say that? Because I cannot see you securing and not, like, I just see you like just reading people left and right, but I don't see you like, you too cute for that, so I don't see you like
I got another story about that too. No. So anyway, got a security job, and they told me they had a post at the BET building. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So when I go to the interview with someone who shall remain nameless, who I don't like, he interviewed me like in this glass room, and I seen Robbie Reed walk past, and he was like, well, what are you trying to do here? And I was transparent. I was like, look, I'm taking a security job, but I'm not trying to do security. I was like, I want to be, in the mix. Okay, so when Robbie walked past, he was like, we always have problems hiring people who want to be in the industry as well because they don't know how to do their job. And he was like, the last person we hired was like putting their headshots on her desk overnight and we had to let him go. And I was like, well, I'm not excited to see Robbie. I know who she is. I've been in LA for a long time.
Right.
There ain't nothing. So I understand how to play my position too.
Right.
So he said, well, I'll make you a deal. I'll give you the job, but you'll probably have to do that for about a year before you can kind of move around and, start asking for anything or whatever. But that ain't my timeline. So I was working there. I got cool with everybody, people like me, whatever. So my desk used to be cracking.
Right.
In the hallway. So then my supervisor started hating on me, like, you can't be holding people up. I'm like, I ain't holding these people up. They coming back.
Right.
So anyway, an opportunity came up to work in the finance department under Sean. And, I was cool with Sean, so he wanted to hire me. So I had to ask to interview in different departments so it wouldn't be like a conflict. So I interviewed in the sales department, finance, whatever. So I was making strides, and then they ended up firing me. After they gave me permission to...
Under those grounds?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I was already bumping heads with my supervisor. But I say all that to say, now I'm back freelancing and I can help produce and be, the power of manifestation and doing what I want to do. Yeah. And not working on your time.
Yeah, exactly. Hello.
So, but anyway, how did you go from working to now auditioning for American Soul?
So it's crazy because, again, I was never saying, oh, I'm an actress. Oh, even though... some people do that. I think that's where I have to come out of my shell and just say, hey, this is what I do. And it just took a minute because, again, just going through all those things when I was younger and having to say, this is what I do. This is not a hobby. This is what I love. It's, it's a mental thing. Yeah. And so it messed with me a lot. It really did. And there was one time where I just said, you know what? I try to give it up. And I said, it's almost like really taking breath away from me if you're telling me not to act, And even in my assistant job, I was just like, hey, well, maybe I'll just stay, maybe I'll just get on a trajectory to be an executive and that's it, or an EVP or over programming or something. Let me just get that because it doesn't seem like it's going to happen for me. Because you see it happening around you, so you don't know if it would happen to you. Right. And so it's crazy because... someone said something, and I think they was just like, oh, well, Perri asked and told Robbie. And so I said, yeah, if you ever need, help with readers or whatever, let me know. And so she just asked me one time if I wanted to come in and be the reader for auditions that were happening. And I would see her glance at me while I was, reading. And I would go in, do what they asked me to do, and go back to my desk. What you have to have in my position is a supportive boss, period. Right. And my boss lady is freaking amazing. Period, hands down, point blank. So she allowed me to, gave me permission to go ahead and do all of that and to be a reader.
But did you have it in your mind, like, I know she's looking at me, or were you really just trying to help out?
No, I was really helping out. Okay. But then I was just like, but I hope she sees me.
Okay, cool.
And that's the thing. And when I was like, I hope she sees me, I hope that she sees that I am talented. Yeah. Or I hope she sees that there is something there. Not expecting anything, because this game of acting, you hear a whole bunch of no's and everything. So, and then you want names, and then you want social following to be high. It's just, so I'm like, but I hope she sees the talent. So she started having me to be a reader more often and more often and more often. And then American Soul comes. She said, listen, I'm going to have you to be the reader for American Soul. Okay. For the network auditions and for chemistry reads. Okay. That way the producers can see you. Because... again, sometimes you have to get past the names.
And what is a reader? You would do all the female parts, or okay?
Yep. So whoever was coming into audition, I would do female and male parts. Okay. So whoever's coming into the audition, I would read opposite of them. Okay. And during American Soul, I was so nervous doing the network testing. I was like, wait, why am I nervous? I'm talking about I was auditioning. And in a way, I was, but I knew they was watching. Yeah, but I was so nervous, and I know I'm not just a reader that is that's flat. Yeah. I want to make sure I give, some people like flat. Yeah. But I wanted to make sure I give them something to the energy to feed off of. So then I became the reader, and people who were working with me who didn't even know who was in that room was just like, wait, what is happening? And so...
because you had to step it up a notch from the reading before.
Listen. I was like, where's the paper so I can go learn lines? Yes. Where, whatever. And so, and people who were actually auditioning were just saying, yo, that's good. You an actress? What's happening? And I'm like, yeah, I work here. And so I'm just helping you all out. But yeah, I act as well. And it was weird to say, but when you start standing in it, oh my gosh, it's a game changer. But I was just like, wait, ooh.
Because why didn't you have the confidence to say that before?
Yo, because again, I had to get through the whole, like, I had built up barriers for myself in my own mind as to this may never happen, you know? And so I never wanted to get happy. So it was, and just lacking that confidence to say, is this what I do? Can I say this?
Right.
I haven't done anything major. Should I say this?
And as soon as you say it, they're going to be like, what have you been doing?
Exactly. Hello.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yo, I don't think I can, I can't tell them I was in a one-act play playing Raisin in the Sun back in 1998. Like, what? No. Yeah, so then once that happened, the producer started saying, oh, wait, so we thought you was coming down here like just as a favor for the company, but you rocking it out. And even Tony Cornelius, which is Don Cornelius' son in real life, he said, yeah, you're a great actress. You remind me of my mom, because I was reading the part for his mom. It's like, you exude her energy, her spirit, her personality. Like, you remind me of my mom. And what's crazy is they started looking at me, and I started doing different roles, and they were just like, yo, she's killing this crackhead role, and she's killing this role and this role. That's crazy. Like, so I went from being in there listening as a network as they were talking about everybody else to where they asked me to leave the room. And I'm like, yo, wait, what? So I'm in there listening to them say this. Okay, well, this one and this one and this one. And then they're just like, hey, Perri, can you leave the room? Okay. And you know, look, when I get nervous, I get bubble guts. So I was just like, whoa, what's happening? And so, and then they called and offered me the role. When they was offering everybody else the role.
Without even knowing that it was coming. You just got a call like, hey, do you want to do this?
Yep, I got a call from Robbie Reed. Wow. And she was very strategic and, you know, just making sure I was seen, not knowing what would come out of it. And she didn't force anything. She was just like, hey, you know, we don't want you to be stuck right here thinking that this is all you have to offer. You actually do this, you know? So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
So how do you balance having a full-time job and being like big time?
Well, I still won't say big time, but listen.
Like, are you auditioning a lot pre-COVID?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks to my agent Jason and manager Karen. Yo, so I was on set for American Soul all day and trying to make sure I can balance the two. So I would never miss an email, and I would just say, hey, I'm on set this day. And because they knew I worked for the network, they just made sure my times and days were like back to back, so that I could knock it out and all that good stuff. Even my friends on set, they were just like, yo, you good? Like, you over here answering calls, you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I go right back in.
And it does help to have a supportive boss.
Oh my gosh.
I interviewed for L.A. Reid one time to be his assistant. And he was just very honest, like, I'm looking for a career assistant. I'm not looking for nobody that's trying to come up and move out and
they'll tell you that. They will tell you that for real, because it's so many people who, you know, who will go in at that role, but then they're just like, yo. Yeah. And then when you're an executive, you really need support. Like, you need that hardcore support. And I did that, you know, for 5 years, and I didn't mind it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mind it at all. Because I learned so much, and because I love her and who she is, it was a joy to work and learn from her. So, yeah.
How far away do you think you are from leaving your full-time job and just concentrating full-time on
Let me tell you something.
acting?
I thought, listen, see, I had my own plans, and then COVID. And the Lord said, not so, not yet. But no, I'm close to it. I'm very close to it, you know, and I know my mom still probably is just like, girl, you don't have no insurance, or you don't get no consistent check. But sometimes even freelancing, because the great thing, because I learned, I still feel like I can freelance in between time, in the meantime. For sure. And you still make money because you get to put your own pay on there on what you're worth and what you know someone should pay you.
I haven't had a 9-to-5 in like 4 years,
and that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
And it comes with,
how is it now?
challenges.
I was going to say, so how is it now?
With COVID and stuff, you mean?
Yeah. With the entertainment being shut down for, you know, a little bit.
I done been through so many things in my 20s, I just know how to move. Okay. Like, I'm good with money. I live below my means, so I'm not tripping like that, but I'm always looking for the next check.
Yeah, but, that's what's up.
Yeah. But this happened actually back in 2008 when the writer's strike happened. Okay. It messed me up because I had just joined SAG. And I was working a lot, and I was making a lot of money, and then everything was shut down, and I ended up homeless.
What were you doing? What's SAG? Oh.
Yeah, I was on Girlfriends. I was a regular on Eli Stone. Everybody Hates Chris. I was working a lot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I was always prepared for when this shit come back around.
I know that's right. Just saving up.
What did you do with your first big check?
I put it in the bank. Like what I wanted to do was, cause I saved too.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to open up a separate account just for acting, for any acting checks. Let me open it up. And just, I didn't go shopping. I'm good at that type of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to go shopping. I don't have to go and get the name brands and that's just me. Maybe I should, sometimes I should treat myself, and I have treated myself, but it's not a thing to me. Like, my mom has always instilled for me to save, So, in my first one, I was just like, okay, let me go on and put this over there.
Right.
Yeah.
So how is it now when you go home? Like, do you feel like you made it, or like your country cousins bragging on you?
When I go back home, it's funny because my mom brags on me to everybody else, but not me.
Okay.
So, baby, she know how to keep me humble like crazy.
Yeah.
Her and my granddaddy. Oh, my granddaddy was just like, oh, she on TV? Oh, okay. We'll watch it later. I'm like, Daddy, come on.
Yeah.
But and my cousins, some of them just like one of them. She said, "Oh, I didn't even know you were somewhat of a big deal till I Googled you the other day." And I said, "Oh, you think I'm out here just twiddling my thumbs and just playing? I'm just out here trying to hustle for no reason." She said, "Oh, girl, I picked up somebody and saw your picture. Oh, okay, cousin, go ahead then." Yeah. So it's they keep me humble.
My family be excited about everything.
Oh, like, don't get it. They excited, but they keep me humble.
An episode of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and like when my nieces and nephews seen that, they was like, they thought I was the biggest thing. I'm like, I'm not making no money.
Listen, I think they're just like, okay, good job, keep it up. All right, we love you. Stay grounded. That's how they are. But other people, like my sorority sisters, their children, to say, my baby saw you on family reunion getting hit, and I'm like, okay. Tell them that was the carrots. It was not Perri. Don't try.
Who are some of your peers? Like, who do you see mostly in the same category as you when you're auditioning? That we might know.
Oh my gosh.
Because like when I was auditioning heavy, it was always like me and what's his name, Brandon T. Jackson, the little comedian guy.
It's the ones that's on Boomerang and games people play.
Okay.
It's that circle now.
Okay.
It's and what's great is that I love when we go in there to audition. Everybody's just like, all right, rock out. Yeah. Do your thing, girl.
Because what else you gonna say to me?
Listen.
I'm the white.
Listen. What you gonna say? Yes. So yeah.
How do you not stay attached to the outcome? Like when you go to auditions, how do you like not internalize the rejection?
Oh, Tavarus, I'm learning that now. I think it's a process for that, and because I'm starting out in this now, on this level, it's a new process that you have to learn. Because listen, at one point I was just like, yo, like they wouldn't even. Some people, casting directors, was just like, hey, no, she's just not right by looking at my picture. Yeah, y'all know what I could. Oh, we need more wit. Because my real is American Soul and more dramatic. And I'm like, y'all, I'm funny. Yeah. Like, I'm sarcastically funny. What you mean? So it's just not even getting the chance of getting in there to show what you can do. And like not too long ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I was just in there like, whoa, what am I doing? What am I doing? But you just have to press through it.
So do you feel like on the times that you've been overly confident or felt like you did good, you wouldn't get a call, and then when you kind of question it, you'd be like, oh, didn't somebody do call?
Well, there have been times where I was just like, you know what, I killed that audition. And at this point, because again, you have to understand, I know the conversations that happen. Yeah. So that helps me. Yeah. I think if I didn't have that, I probably would have quit.
Because even in the reader's room, when you were hearing the notes on the other actors, I'm sure you were making adjustments.
Absolutely. And it wasn't because, you have to understand too, some of it wasn't because the person wasn't good. Yeah. It was like they were matching them up with this person. They already have, okay, well, we want this person to be the lead. Yeah. Well, what's the height? Or do they look like they could be a family? Or it's all that, so you can't take everything personal with just your talent, because after you talk about height, after you talk about what someone with the age they look like, after you talk about if they hair, if they look like a family, if they look like this, or
and if you actually privy to those conversations, you will get your feelings hurt, because they'll be like, she got a stomach, the tooth long, like this kind of hair.
Before you even get to your talent, though, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay, again, like the casting director was just saying, oh no, she doesn't fit this part. By looking at my headshot, oh okay, cool. Yeah, so.
What advice would you give to people that are auditioning now? Like ways to stand out or like things that you've picked up?
Go ahead and tell a story. Tell the story. Look at it as an opportunity and not an audition.
I would say to the people who are auditioning, don't be afraid to challenge the casting directors. Like ask them, what exactly are you looking for? So you can give them what
Have
they
you
want.
done it?
I do it all the time. I do whatever I want, really.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Tavarus, of course.
I tried. Like for instance, when I did a Blimpies commercial, and when I went to the audition, everybody do their lines, and I remember as soon as I was walking out, I yelled the line again, and I ended up getting it. So just to stand out.
Be memorable. Be memorable.
I'm always asking questions, and a lot of times they'll shush you and kind of, they be real dismissive anyway. But
you don't hurt your feelings?
No. And I don't even know where that came from, but I've always had the attitude of yo bad.
Right. I know. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
But this is what y'all won't do.
Okay.
When I got here, my very first audition with an agent, guess what I did for a monologue?
What?
Jerome Martin.
Wait, let me please do it. Like, no, go ahead.
I think it was the engagement episode when Snoop was on there, so it was like, show you right, And mind you, these white people don't know who the fuck, and I'm very confident in my skit, and they're like, okay. And I'm like,
how long was it?
It was like a minute, like whatever.
My God.
I was going off.
Oh my God.
Because I love Martin.
Yeah,
but I didn't get it, obviously.
Okay, yeah, and I love Martin too. I absolutely, but I do. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, don't do that.
No, I would never.
Is there a such thing as a casting couch? And do you know people who specifically, not to say anybody, but do you know people who slept their way to the top?
I don't specifically know anyone who slept their way to the top. And the only casting couch that of course I heard of was that I'm sitting down having a meeting.
Okay.
In plain sight with open windows.
Have you ever done proposition?
No. But no. Never.
So I feel like we have similar personalities, like straight shooters or whatever. But how do you deal with like industry politics and like the people who aren't so forward or like?
Give it to me how it is. I don't like all that. Like, just tell me what it is. With all these politics,
all the like, let's do lunch, but it's not really.
Man, now that right there. I don't even say that type of stuff. So like, come on, man. We don't have to play like this. We don't have to play them games. We don't have to play those games. If you don't, let's just not play them.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's a thing.
Yeah.
But why we gotta play them?
I agree.
I don't feel like playing the social numbers. I don't feel like you're right. I don't want to play. I don't feel like wanting to play. Build your followers up. I don't feel like playing the game of take pictures with celebrities.
Yeah.
For what? Like, I only want to take pictures with who people I like taking pictures with. I only want to put on my page what I'm like very
passionate about.
Yes. Yeah. Why I gotta do all that? It's the game, and I'm like, I don't.
Does your agent try to get you to do certain things or be at certain events to like?
Managers have definitely tried to get me to build up my social following, and I just that's not me though. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to become a person who is not me.
Yeah.
I understand you got to play the game, whatever. I just don't want to look back and say, ooh, who was that? For what?
Yeah.
Like, it's a pleasure to meet me too, because I'm just a real person.
Right.
How about that?
What's that moment that's been like, damn, is this real?
Let's see. Oh, when I executive produced in my first film.
Okay.
It was because I had to be in the trenches with all of it. It was a proud moment because from beginning to end, putting money behind it, finding the writer who I think would tell a great story, putting One Happy Camper out there to say, yo.
Which is the name of your production company.
One Happy Camper. And so just doing all that to say, hey, this is where you can find good quality content. You can go over there if you want, but this is where you find good quality content. Has
there been a celebrity that you were shocked to find out was a fan of yours? Or that's like tweeted you or like said, hey, good job, I see you?
Oh, you know who did it and I still screenshot it and it made my heart so wonderful. Robert Townsend.
Oh, what do you say?
Because he directed episode 3 of American Soul. And every time I see him now, he was just like, you did a fabulous job, and there's so much great things in store for you. And it was great working with you. We should working together, just all that. And when I see him, he was just like, oh, look at my babies, and it's just because he's a artist or actor's director.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's someone I love. Come on.
Yes, he got all the classics.
Yes. So yes. Yeah.
Has there ever been a celebrity that you've admired from afar?
My admiration for Regina Hall is beyond.
Yeah.
Listen, and when I met her in person, I think I just fell in love.
Now, why her?
Even more. Why her?
Yeah. Like, what do you like about her?
Let me tell you. Oh my God. First of all, she's funny.
Yes.
And I know she probably was a dramatic actor at first, but she is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
She is funny. Without even trying.
Without trying.
Yeah. And she's beautiful. And she's talented.
She's professional.
She stayed working.
You have to, when I met her, and the first time I didn't even want to talk to her because I was like, oh my God, I'm so shy.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a time where I finally had the opportunity to talk to her because her and my boss, Connie, are friends. And when they talked, I was with Connie. And I was able to just say, you're my favorite.
Yeah.
You're my person. You're my person. And she's just real humble and professional and she just exudes all of that. I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So before we wrap this up, I do like to play a game with all of my guests. It's a quick rapid fire round.
Okay.
So before you leave, would you rather be loved or feared?
Oh, God, loved.
Love, okay. Favorite quote?
My favorite quote, eyes haven't seen nor ears have heard the great things that the Lord has prepared.
Mm-hmm. Best advice you've ever gotten?
Take care of Perri, my late grandmother used to say it all the time.
Worst advice?
The worst advice I've gotten was, I couldn't do something.
Okay, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
What's the secret talent that you have?
Oh, I know sign language.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Like the basic ones?
No, fool. I know ASL. So for my foreign language in college, I took ASL 1 through 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's a pet peeve of yours?
Someone cutting you off? With
Driving?
talking?
Oh, talking.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can see.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you thought to be true 10 years ago that you know now is not true?
Yeah, 10 years ago, I didn't think I would be here, and I didn't think I would be amongst people that I admire. And 10 years ago, I did not think I would be here in New York or LA.
What's been the lesson that's taken you the longest to learn?
You don't have to speak your mind about everything.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah. I'm still learning.
And finally, what keeps you encouraged?
Family and friends. Yeah.
Well, this is it. Thank you for joining us. Tell people where they can find you and all that. What you got coming up?
Yeah, at Perri Camper. And the film festival is coming up. Or the short film is in film festivals, but it should be released soon. It's called She Had to Ask, and it's about a woman proposing to a man.
Oh, would you ever do that?
Absolutely not.
That's why you played the character.
No, and I didn't even play the character. I played the sister of the one. But when she got on her knee to do it, I was like, ooh.
Get up.
Girl, I was, oh my God. Yeah, I've never. But it's a thing. It's a conversation.
I ain't mad at it.
Because we ask for everything else but we ask for we tell them what type of ring we want, we tell them when we want it, how we want to be proposed to, and all of that. But what we won't do is ask the question.
I know a girl who was asked to be married and she told him no. Mm-hmm. And now she's ready, but he won't do it.
So is she going to do it?
No. But I'm like, you fucked it up. You should have just had a long engagement.
Oh my God. Well.
It takes a lot to muster up to be.
It does. Yeah, then get let down.
Yeah.
I get it.
Anyway, y'all tune in next week. Good night.
Night.